is that damnable dwarf? I've come all the way out here to look at these rocks. A wizard is never late, but apparently a dwarf can turn up whenever he feels... Oh, there you are. Oh, yeah, sorry I'm late there. I've been a bit busy, do you know what I mean? Well, what can you tell me about these rocks? They don't seem to be in very good condition. I thought that dwarf workmanship was supposed to be the best. Ah, it is, don't worry. I'll have to ask my brothers. I don't know where they are. Hey, lads, come over at these rocks. Here they come. What's wrong? We've been busy. What's going on? Well, what is happening with the state of these rocks? They were fine, we put them in. They've only been here about 80 years or so. So, it's fine. I don't know what you're talking about. Must be something crushing them up. Something big. Like what? I mean, giants? Of course it can't be giants. That'd be a silly thing. Excuse me, sir. I have to report something moving in the wilderness. Oh, don't you tell me. It's giants. I mean, the next thing you'll be telling me is that there's one standing right behind me, and that would be utterly silly. There isn't, is there? Yeah. Oh my god. Me Grumbog. Me smash. Well, yes, that's very nice. At least she's not a very big one. What is that over there? Oh, well, I guess they do come in bigger sizes. Perhaps this is the one that's been smashing up all the rocks. I mean, surely they don't get any bigger than this brute. But this is the Mega-Gargant. He's the Mega-Gargant. He's in charge. I see. Well, isn't that wonderful? Welcome to Wyvern Minis. Excuse that bit of silliness. I just wanted to play with my toys. So, this video I wanted to do something about comparing the size of giant models from various ranges, because I've got a Sons of Behemat army which uses a lot of proxies from various companies, and I struggled to find anything out there that compared the sizes of these different giants that can be used as Gargants or Mega-Gargants in the army. So I wanted to just put something out there with that, but make it a little bit more fun, hopefully. So anyway, these are just some of them. I just want to use the ones that are painted for the moment. I've got quite a few other Mega-Gargants in particular, which I'm going to do some videos on painting them up over time and add them into the comparison as well, including the official Games Workshop ones. You'll notice here that I haven't got any of the current Games Workshop range of Gargants or Mega-Gargants. I'm not so keen on the Mancrusher Gargant, to be honest with you. There's something about it I don't really get along with so well, although the kit's got loads of extra cool stuff on it, so maybe I'll have to get one at some point. But I do have a fairly substantial army. I think it's about 4,000, maybe even 5,000 points worth of giants, once it's all painted up. So anyway, without further ado, let's have a look at how big these things are. So this first one is a classic, the old Marauder Giant. I always wanted one of these. I saw it in White Dwarf, thought it was amazing. Managed to find it for a decent price on eBay a while ago. Just love the patchwork nature of the clothes. Looks like it's really been made out of various bits of cloth that he's found wherever. I call this guy Grumbog Aleguzzler. He's about 4.5 inches tall. This guy is the old Orc and Goblin Giant from Games Workshop. Metal miniature. I've had him sitting around for a long time. He's a big old lump of a thing, but smaller than the others. He's only just under 4 inches tall, but he still fits in really nicely. I called him Dronk Stunty-Stomper, and I think he does a good job as a Mancrusher Gargant, even though he's a little on the small side compared to the others. Now this one, classic, one of the Giants of Albion. In the old days, one of the Dogs of War regiments. This one is Bologs. Bologs One Eye. He's a Cyclops. Throwing that rock. I admired this model for a long time. This one was actually a recast off eBay. I didn't realise it was a recast until I bought him, and I was a bit disappointed about that. But still, he works and he does the job. He's about 4 inches tall to the top of his head. Now this boy, he's a big one. He's from Atlantis Miniatures. I call him Bruinen the Wise because he looks a bit druidy. He's not quite big enough to be a Mega-Gargant, but he is fairly substantial, at about 6 inches tall to the top of his head. He works really nicely with the two Giants of Albion, I think, because they used to be looked after by a druid called Hengis, so he kind of takes that role as far as I'm concerned. This dude, I call him Fat Glurg for obvious reasons. This is one of the Nolzur's Marvellous Miniatures range for D&D. He's a hill giant from that, and he's not on the tall side. To his head, he's only about 3.5 inches tall, but he's very substantial, and the way that he's posed, actually, he does work well as a Mancrusher. And finally, this Mega-Gargant, he's just fantastic. This is from Heresy Miniatures. He's a good 8 inches tall to the top of his head. He's very much the similar sort of size to the Mega-Gargants from Games Workshop, as you'll see in future videos. But yeah, absolutely love this model. Very, very pleased to get it. It's an absolute joy to paint. All the textures on it. I would highly recommend getting one of these from Heresy Miniatures if you want to do a Sons of Behemat army. He's just brilliant. I missed out getting him on their original Monster Kickstarter, but I had to pick him up afterwards. Once he was all finished and I saw what it looked like, he's eating a paladin, and I decided to make him a really cool little scenic base of the paladin's camp where he's been taken from. So yeah, really like it. So this final image here, just comparing all the Mancrushers together, and you can see how they look next to each other. I mean, the one from Atlantis Miniatures is definitely on the big side, but like I say, he's not bulky enough really to be a Mega-Gargant. I think just being a bigger Mancrusher works pretty well, particularly if you put them into little groups. I tend to have the big Bruinen the Wise being the Bull Gargant for leading a little mob of 3, and then the Fat Glurg, because he's on a slightly bigger base as well. He leads another group of 3. So they work quite well, and I think it's quite nice having some variety in there. So hopefully this is helpful. You can see that most of these regular giants, they're about 4 inches tall, plus or minus a little bit, with that Atlantis Miniatures one being about 6 inches, and Mega-Gargants are about 8. So hopefully that will give you a little bit of an idea of how big they are. I like putting things on their bases to try and make it obvious that they are big models, in terms of the scale and all that kind of stuff. Really accentuates it for me. But yeah, I love the idea of having a big stompy models charging across the table. They've been really effective in the game. I don't think they've lost a game yet. They seem to be crushing everybody. But yes, there'll be another video coming out soon, painting up some Mega-Gargants, because I'd like to get them all done, and then I'll do another size comparison with all the others, including the Games Workshop ones and some the Mantic ones as well, because one of the benefits of using proxies is saving a bit of cash, because Mega-Gargants ain't cheap, but they are bloody amazing models. So I've got a couple of them. Anyway, hope that was enjoyable, and hopefully see you on the next one. Bye for now.